I've been having a lot of health issues, actually. Yeah, so the doctor said that surgery is needed and stuff like that. During the course, I had this insight and everything that totally changed my view of illnesses and stuff like that. The final scan before the surgery. So there was when it was like a huge reduction. It was like from 10 cm to 2 cm. After this course, I truly trust in life. I'm the creator and the manifester of all my own diseases. It's possible that I'll still get sick. It just simply shows that there's something else that I need to work on. Many years, it's been over, I think, more than a decade. I've been having a lot of health issues, actually. So I didn't understand that time. I didn't know, why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? Yeah, so the doctor said that surgery is needed and stuff like that. After the course, during the course, I had this insight and everything that totally changed my view of illnesses and stuff like that. So after that, I came to this understanding that I'm the creator and the manifester of all my own diseases. And after that powerful experience, actually, then I went back and had the final scan before the surgery. So there was when it was like a huge reduction. It was like from 10 cm to 2 cm. At that time during the course itself, it was like a direct understanding. It can't be disputed. I just knew it to be the truth at that time. And it was always the ego. It was a lot of things that's locked in the subconscious mind that I never even realized were there, actually. And there were a lot of layers of the processes, actually. But I narrow it down, and I finally realized that there is this sense of feeling insubstantial. There's this sense of feeling like I'm not good enough. It comes from low self-esteem. It comes from ideas and past experiences that has been emotions that are either suppressed, or I felt that it was like a peer pressure, a cultural thing, So it just sort of like I mentioned, there's a lot of layers of things. But once this direct understanding came, it's like a lot of information is being downloaded at the same time. Mm-hmm. But from what I could gather, it all comes down to the very, very subconscious mind stating that, whoa, this is like the ego. You are identifying with all these emotions, with all these beliefs through the years. And it manifested in diseases because it just gets you out of uncomfortable situations. I have grown up being like sort of perfectionist. I have to excel in school, in activities, whatever that I do. It has to be the best, 100%, no less. So it sort of puts that standard. And ironically, when you go out to the real world, things change. There are going to be situations which is out of our control, which, despite us giving 100%, it will not have the result that you want, because it just may not be, whether it's people around you or it's the situation, anything. Things change when we adult, So it just sort of like this subconscious mind started creating excuses for me, convenient excuses to get out of situations which I knew that would show that I'm not good enough. Or if there's even a slight opportunity to show that I would fail. So it has, like I mentioned, many, many layers, but it comes down to there's this fear of not being accepted, of being seen as incompetent, not worthy. There's a lot of self-criticism in that. And it all comes from this place. It all comes with the identification with the thoughts, with all these strange ideas that has been compounded over the years and has not been dealt with. So it manifested in convenient ways in terms of diseases for me. to help me get out of situations that I'm not comfortable with. And also, one more thing, I do notice that because in our world actually now, there is, well, also in Asian culture, there is this lack of, how would I say? People do not really cut you slack if you don't want to do something. Like, you're just pushed to do something. They don't really give you the pace you want to move on, whether it's in terms of work. Like, I mean, if you feel like this doesn't suit you, then people will say like, oh, you spent so much already in college and stuff like that. What are you doing, wasting your life away, trying to change your life and stuff like that? So somehow this sort of problems also this sort of beliefs, actually, it would end up being my belief, because this sort of belief of how people view me also manifested in terms of illnesses. Because I realized that people do not really have sympathy to you if they don't see a solid physical reason for you to excuse yourself from your responsibilities or duties that's expected of you. So all these things, all these small, tiny things, the layers of it actually just creates a beautiful concoction there's a beautiful cocktail in here of illnesses and diseases that I've created just from my own thoughts and my own beliefs. It's not the society, to be honest, but I had to mention it this way so that, we could relate, because it relates to many of us. We normally view the society as different from us, but actually after this course, I realized that we're all the same. And whatever I see in them is actually a reflection of myself, my own view. So, but that was what caused it. That was the cause, that separation, that belief. Yeah. And I do see life very differently from this situation. And even in terms of illness and all this, whatever that happens in life now, the people that we meet, the situations we're in, whether it's financial situation or some difficulties that we face, I would say that none of them are difficulties. There may be some inconveniences, but it's meant to be. After this course, I truly trust in life. And it doesn't mean that I'll never get sick ever again. It's possible that I'll still get sick. It just simply shows that there's something else that I need to work on. It's as simple as that. But then all this very life-changing insights that come during the course itself, it goes a really long way, because it makes me believe in life, what life has to offer. And everything that we have around us that's happening, none of it is bad. It's just how we react to it. There's no bad situation. Even the worst situation, we get to gain something from it. We get to learn from it. It's all the subtle things in life that's actually educating us. We are being schooled in this whole life, actually. We have been traversing, all of us have been traversing on a path that's really painful. But all these tiny, tiny things are all these wake-up calls here and there, leading us back into the path. So, yeah, I mean, things come and go. It's not necessarily bad. I mean, I don't feel that it's bad at all. Any situation, even what seems to be the worst, is our interpretation of it that matters. Yeah. So that was what's a huge change for me from this course. So, yeah, a bit more chill. Your life just blows up in your face and you're like, okay, yeah, it's fine. Okay. You react to it momentarily because we're still human. It's like years and years, decades, lifetimes of programming. So you just automatically, oh, crap. But then after a while, you sit back and you go like, yeah, I had this experience. It's a nice reminder. Nothing is bad. There is something from here that I need to learn. So what is it? So this is when we sit still and we get the answer. There's something that has to be worked on. And it's a wake-up call. A very nice wake-up call. Life is very kind to us. We just utilize whatever we have. Like I mentioned before, everything is a tool for us. Whether it's a strong emotion, I wouldn't even say negative emotion now, because I don't feel that any emotion is negative. It's just there to show us something that we don't know, that's locked deep within us. So any form of strong emotion or weak emotion, anything, whatever it is, it's just there as a tool to help us. Any form of situations in life that may seem to be very undesirable to a lot of people may actually be exactly what is needed to change your life and the life of others around you. It's a good opportunity, actually. Things started happening for you. That's what it happened for me. Things that what seemed impossible suddenly just happen. It just doesn't make sense. When you try to put sense into it, it doesn't happen. Because I feel it in daily life, on a daily occurrence. There are many, many instances. There are things that there are people reaching out to you. They're just things that are falling into place when you trust life, actually. Yeah. Whether it's a, like for example, if I needed suddenly a huge sum of money for something, and I was just a bit worried about it for a little bit, and then after that I was like, oh gosh, where can I get this money from? I really need it right now. And next thing I know is poof, the money just came to me. It's this sort of instances. Yeah, it happened. This happened. And it just solves that problem there and then. And the timing is like, it just fits perfectly. And no more, no less. It's like, for example, I need this particular amount of money. So then I would usually need to brainstorm, how am I going to get this to settle this? And this money just comes, the exact amount. It fits in crazily, actually. That point of time during that experience itself, that insight, everything seemed very surreal. Like I'm here, but I'm not here. It feels like an interesting out-of-body experience where you know everything firsthand. After that, like all experiences, I notice they come and go. But having that direct knowledge and experience, it changes a lot of things, because my take on life has become very different. Everything that happens, I remember I mentioned earlier how perfect I was. I need to be in control and all these things. It completely changed. There is all the small little instances. It's not the big ones. It's the smaller instances where I just realized that I react differently to situations. And when I react differently to situations somehow just resolve itself. And things fall into place very nicely, even beyond my expectation, that will bring me to another level altogether. Things have changed completely, actually.